So I have to say, have you been to the Italian coast?
I think, well, I've been to Italy a bunch, but no, I mean, I definitely want to. Uh, I think to capture some of this magic, there'd have to be a time machine element to it also. But yeah, no, I've been to Rome a bunch, and when I was 8 or 9, we went to Italy, but I don't remember a lot of it. But I definitely want to go.
Well, this movie does such a good job making you feel like you're there. And since
Right?
you also have not been there, did the filmmakers do anything to put you in the mood when you were doing the voice work?
Well, I play see that's interesting because that's thinking about it's like I play this sea monster who's not really um uh Italian, and he's not really so even when he goes to land, as beautiful as the Italian coast is, it's he's comparing it to underwater. So it's like he's not like, wow, this is so much nicer than the Midwest where I grew up. He's like, well, I live underwater, and this is he's more thrown by walking and
Yeah,
having to put on clothes.
that was very funny.
Right.
You and Maya Rudolph voices Luca's mother and your character's wife. Your scenes together are so much fun. They
Oh,
had a very
man.
natural feel to them. Was that all scripted, or did you guys have some fun together?
That was pretty much all scripted. I mean, I'm a huge Maya Rudolph fan, and I had worked with her on it's I can't believe I can't remember the name, but it was
You do a lot of
going.
stuff.
What's that?
You do a lot
It,
of
it was
stuff.
she was with it was the Sam Mendes, John Krasinski, where they were a young couple.
Oh yeah,
And
I remember that. I saw that movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so and she's a great hang. So it was some of it was I wasn't sure exactly what she was going to do, but I knew that she was going to deliver. And I felt like for Enrico, the director and writer, this was a very personal thing. So he knew the elements of the character that he was trying to get from Lorenzo, my character. So it was all fun, and there was some playing, but
Well,
it's really exciting to do a Pixar movie because you just know that it's going to be good. Like, I mean, now me saying that, it's like they will eventually do a dud, but like
you
I
jinxed it.
can't I can't think of and I've watched a lot of kids movies or a lot of animated movies, and it's they're really hard, but like somehow Pixar always kind of nails the landing.
Well, you said that this was very personal to Enrico.
Yeah.
Did he explain to you like what your character meant to him?
Well, I think that yeah, he explained a little bit, but it was some of it was in the script, in that this is I play a kind of distracted father who's well intended, and which is kind of who I am, I guess. So yeah, but it wasn't he wasn't like, you're playing my father. So it was
Okay.
more key story points, making sure that like, for instance, my character is really interested in show crabs, and I had no idea what that was, but he explained it, so it
What
made
are
sense.
they? What are they?
What
What
are
is it?
they?
Yeah.
They're in this underwater monster world. They are the equivalent of like 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 a dog show. Like, so you would have like a pet crab that is of a certain caliber. You know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absurd, but it's funny.
Well, also, I saw a lot of similarities between Luca and Ariel, the Little Mermaid,
Yeah,
right?
there's something there.
So
Yeah.
as Luca's father, what do you think you would say to King Triton?
Well,
And
I am King
my kid,
Triton.
yeah, my kid likes the Earth support group.
Well, that's first of all, obviously me and King Triton have very similar physiques, but I would also say that there is something that's what's so amazing about these Pixar movies is it works on a lot of different levels. So like Luca obviously is this fish out of the water story. It's about growing up and all this, but it's also, particularly for my character and Maya's character, it's about parents kind of letting their kids go. So there is something about that. And obviously in The Little Mermaid, you know, King Triton deals with that also in a completely different way. But so there is something about letting go, letting kids become who they're going to be.
Yeah, that was a beautiful moment in the movie. I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Oh, thanks.
So you're currently also, did you start filming Peter Pan and Wendy yet?
Yes, I'm here in Vancouver right now.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah,
Now,
I play Wendy, and
you're going in a different direction. I'm excited.
Going a different direction, you know, but I can pull it off.
Well, you're actually playing Smee.
That's right.
Very cool.
Mr Smee to you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Smee. Mr. Smee. Yeah. So I mean, Peter Pan is a story that's been told so many times.
Yeah.
What are you excited about this new version without having any spoilers?
Well, I think it's a classic story. It's also so it's really hard to do the story because I watched all the versions.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah, and so of course it's measured up versus the original animated one, which has a lot of it's problematic, right? You know, some of the stuff, and so it's super ambitious. But I think if anyone, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think David Lowery's pretty brilliant. So
cool.
And how we're doing it, you know, even in the Spielberg version, which is different, it's, you know, it's just there's a lot of fantasy and a lot of things going on. But if it's not grounded in reality, then it turns into kind of a weak version of a fantasy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's why Game of Thrones worked is that it was this fantasy, but the world was so detailed and thorough. And so that's what I think this version's going to have is, you know, obviously you remove or adjust stuff that was very problematic, but you keep it grounded in these questions of, you know, like Peter Pan, the question is, you know, there's a complex, the Peter Pan complex, right? Mm-hmm. That it rings true for everyone. So it has to have a resonance. And it's interesting because you do research for a role. And so Peter Pan was like a play, and then it was a book, and then he rewrote it and all this stuff. So there's it's this moving story, but there's almost kind of a Greek story point that is or Shakespearean about Peter Pan that is, it's not something you go about doing lightly. And so that's why it's so great that David Lowery's involved.
That's so cool. My last question to you is, now obviously Luca is disqualified because you're in it, but what's your favorite Pixar movie?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, you know, the most recent one I saw was Soul, and I was blown away. I'm just amazed at how often, maybe that's a commentary on my expectations for other films, but I think that as someone who dabbles in creativity, it's Soul was really ambitious.
It was.
And it was really ambitious in the past couple of years that we've had. And so to pull that off is astounding. And also independent of where our society is dealing with social injustice and all that, it's and then add in these kind of lifetime questions. So I think I was so impressed by that it worked in a fun and it worked in an artistic way, but it's just the bravery of it. It's you know, like it's just like, you know, Pete Docter is just that brilliant, you know.
Great choice. Great choice. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure. Thank you.